closed about 30 points from the intraday high of 7893. So that's a cut of about 0.3% on the Nifty, while the Sensex is down a little more than about 115 points. Some of the stocks that we were tracking on the downside include Tech Mahindra. So that is now slipped below its 100-day moving average of 480 thereabout, while Bajaj Auto 2 has slipped close to about 1.25% from the day's high, and a couple of more banking names, for instance, an ICICI Bank, Bank of Baroda too, are under pressure. But let's move on and address the taxation wars and the fears over there. The government is trying to allay investor fears. Government officials say that it's unlikely that the GAAR provisions will be tweaked on the treaty override. Sapna Das joins in with greater details. Sapna?
Yeah, hi. So basically, the message so far from Navlok is that GAAR is already a done deal, and it's very unlikely that any of the provisions may be amended or changed to basically remove the treaty override clause. That's very much part of the law as of now, and it's expected to roll out from April 1, 2017. But having said that, particularly in the context of the Mauritius Treaty, the government is indicating that the LOB requirements itself within Mauritius Treaty are enough to check any kind of treaty abuse or any kind of round tripping. So under these circumstances, it's very unlikely that a GAAR application may be required when you already have stringent tests under the amended treaty as well. It may be in a very rare situation of conflict between GAAR and the Mauritius Treaty that some kind of call may be required. But, as I've just said, that these situations may be very rare. The other element that we need to keep in mind also is the fact that this entire situation of so-called potential situational conflict between the amended Mauritius Protocol and GAAR may remain only for 2 years. That is still the concessional 50% rate is available under LOB. From after March 2019 onwards, the normal tax rates are going to apply for all kinds of transactions. So this period is only still 2 years. So as of now, the government is not expecting much movement on that front. The other aspect that we also need to keep in mind is about the Singapore Treaty. Now, the Singapore Treaty very clearly mentions that, it's as of now residence-based taxation, just like the way it was for the Mauritius Treaty. But it also says that the moment the Mauritius Treaty is amended, the Singapore Treaty will also change on the same lines. So there is ample policy clarity as of now on this front, at least in terms of the principle applied. The only point here is that when will the dialogue start between the Singapore government and India, and how quickly we see things happening on that front. And the last point, also the LOB conditions under the Singapore Treaty, the kind of threshold that they'll have, the tax rates that they might prescribe, could be very different from what we have under the Mauritius Treaty.
All right. Thanks so much, Sapna, for joining and giving us those details.